Hey everybody, I'm Severely Mame, and today I was wondering if you wanted to get ready with me. I've just been working from home like most people for the last almost year. And when I say working from home, I mean working on my projects and occasionally picking up whatever jobs I can get from my house. So I don't, put on makeup a ton, but lately I have been feeling a little bit more inspired. So I figured I would just get ready with everybody and we can talk about some upcoming projects and things like that. So let's get into it. I'm actually going to take that off because my hair is still wet, as you can kind of see. And I've been trying to embrace the natural curl that my hair has to save me a little bit from having to roller set all the time. It's been growing out since I shaved it over the summer. I shaved it all off after dyeing it too many times. Now it's finally growing back and is orange. I figured out that if I don't super comb or brush my hair when I get out of the shower, it actually has some curl to it. So I've just been center parting it and letting it do what it wants. So I'm going to take off that scarf so that it, can kind of curl. I just kind of get out of the shower and center part it and then shake out my hair and hope for the best. Hats have been a good friend to me in this endeavor. So I've obviously shaved and moisturized. Now I'm putting on the e.l.f. Poreless Primer Putty. I've been using this for a little while now, and I like it. I haven't been putting on my full, stage makeup fantasy very much, so I'm not sure, how it will work for that. But based off of other, drag queens recommendations, I think it's gonna do that well. I've been working on a fun project that you guys won't be able to see till May, but there will be a special part of that just for YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. So I've got my primer on. I am now using I'm gonna put on my foundation. It's by Collab. It's fine. Terminally fine. I got it at Sally's one day because I was out of foundation and I was there grabbing latex gloves for doing hair. Because there's one walking distance from my house and everyone's always wearing masks in there. So I went in and I just grabbed this because I was like, well, we'll see how it is. And it's fine. It isn't as high coverage as maybe I would normally like. It is a little bit light for my skin right now, it seems. But I feel like my face is kind of red today and I'm not sure why. But yeah, I was saying that I've got some fun projects that I've been working on, keeping me tethered to the sewing machine. So actually today on my Instagram, I had put out a question asking people for podcast recommendations because I realized I am extremely productive when I put a podcast on and go over to my sewing machine. So I've realized that's something I should do quite a bit more. My partner worked from home, and when all their podcasts, they have one day a week where most of their podcasts come out. So they'll listen to all their podcasts, but otherwise they have been sucked into all different reality TV shows, watching reruns and back episodes on their phone of Canadian Big Brother and America's Next Top Model and Survivor. We really dug deep once we hit 6 months in quarantine. We started going for shows that I don't think we ever thought that we would watch. But we're enjoying them. It's maybe because Big Brother you can relate to because they're stuck in a house, and then Survivor you're like, oh wow, so wild, I wouldn't want to be out there. So it makes you kind of appreciate being in your home. But yes, so they've been watching those and listening to podcasts. I've been struggling to find more for me. I listened to Trixie Mattel and Katya's Bald and the Beautiful, which I really enjoy. I think it's just very funny, and I like their choice of guests. I really got into it when they had Franz Sonzi on, who's a photographer that I love, and he is a very sweet, kind, talented person. But yeah, so they're fun. I am not into You Must Remember This as everyone thinks I'm going to be, because it would make sense for me to like it. It's all about like old Hollywood stories, but I'm not into how she like tells the stories. Like there's something about the way that she speaks that doesn't mesh with my brain. So I sadly don't get to enjoy that. I've had a few recommendations so far, one of them being Old Hollywood Realness, which I started an episode of, but I think that one has some promise. I was sent a couple more ideas. I have to go through them all, but if you guys have any podcast recommendations, obviously, especially with like a vintage angle or kind of like queer sensibility, please let me know down below. I am looking for podcast recommendations and I will give most of them a try. Because like I said, I'm at my machine so much more these days, which is great. I'm really happy about that. Also, I just realized I was using air spun powder. You can take the drag queen out of the club, but you can't take the club out of the drag queen. I love my air spun powder. It's probably heavy for like normal person daytime use, but I know nothing else. So yes, that was my air spun powder. I just put it all over. I'm not like going in and doing my full contour and everything today. This is kind of just my fast face, especially because I'm not going anywhere. I'm just here with all of you, which is, you know, enjoyable, but not in, I don't need a full contour for it sometimes. I am using a white eyeshadow from a palette from someone that we don't shop from anymore, so I'm not even going to mention it, but really any white shimmer eyeshadow could be put down. This is just, I'm, you know, kind of working through this one to get it out of the collection, because yes, it's from someone we don't shop from anymore. It's funny how many makeup brands kind of get canceled over the years, because I just realized like the next palette I was about to pick up, they were canceled like a long time ago, but like I don't think anyone pays attention to that anymore. This is a very old, as you can tell, Venus palette. I think it was the Venus 1 from Lime Crime. So I'm taking the color Divine. Now, I haven't bought any new makeup pretty much during the pandemic, with the exceptions of like replacing eyeliners and foundations and stuff. And then I updated my like skincare routine by adding the Pixie Glow toner in, which I do really like. I did just run out of it. And it is, you know, not cheap. It's worth it though, so I have to go get a new one, but I feel like it does really nice work for my skin. My skin is not great today because I'm out of it, but you know, we work with what we've got and in our budget. I'm now going in with a smaller brush with the color Icon from this palette. Yeah, I haven't done a makeup video, any sort of makeup video on here in a while, because I was working on my vintage drag series, and then I hit a research stopping point in the 30s where I had talked about a lot of people in my 20s video and 40s video already that come up as performers from the 30s. So I didn't want to like come in with not enough information, and then I kind of got distracted from that project, but I am gonna bring it back because I was really enjoying doing that one. It's just hard because I am just kind of now, like 8 months into living, maybe 6 or 7, whatever, months into living with my partner, kind of figuring out how to do videos in this house. Because when I lived at my last place, I had like a pretty large bedroom where I had room to set up. But here, my partner and I are squeezed into a very small room, so I don't have as much space to spread out and like, you know, film as I used to. So it's harder, especially to do makeup videos, because right now I have a mirror resting on my laptop on a bar stool with studio lights behind a tripod holding my camera, and I'm in the corner. It's not ideal, but I'm figuring it out. But for the vintage drag series, I like to be able to have like my costumes out and things like that. So it's a little harder right now. I'm going in under my eyes with the same Divine color that I used on top. You know, it's just like a waiting game right now for like when will we all be able to kind of do things. I think that we're always kind of keeping abreast of the news to see if anything is changing or getting better or worse. We pretty much stay in the house all the time now that Keenan works from home. When they were working out in the world, we would occasionally go to like Goodwill with our masks and hand sanitizer, and it was around the holidays especially because we were getting like decorations because it was like all of our first time living in this apartment together and things like that. But once Keenan started working from home, we're like, oh, they're not having to ride public transit anymore or seeing the general public, so we're just gonna stay home and stay as safe as we can. And yeah, we've been doing that, which has been, it's been nice. It gives me a lot of time to actually have to focus on things that I'm doing because Keenan's in the like spot between the living room and the dining room, or the living room and the kitchen where like our kitchen table used to be. They're working there in their office, and if I'm just like walking around the house doing nothing all day, I feel, even though they aren't judging me, I'm judging myself for doing absolutely nothing. So I'm finding myself doing more work and things. So it's nice, we kind of keep each other going. We take like little cigarette breaks together sometimes. We eat lunch and watch Drag Race on the TV together. So it's been really nice. It's gonna be weird once I have to go and get a job out in the world again and they'll be working here. I don't know which one of us is going to be more upset by that actually, because I know that they kind of like having me around. Oh, my blush that I just used is from the Trixie Mattel Summer of Love palette. It was Side Chick. Sometimes I put it on too heavy, like I just did there, and had to blend it out a little bit, but I love me some blush. I also have the Mod About You palette, which I could have and should have used here. Next, I am going in with my eyeliner. It's just the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I've been using it for years, and I love it. It's funny, I've been doing my makeup for over 10 years, and I'm still not very good at it. Like my cat eyes, never even. My eyebrows, not even close to even ever. And my partner and our roommate both are like playing more with makeup these days. And it's funny because they'll kind of like ask me questions because I'm the old gal who's done it all. And I'm just like, you know, you just like do it. Like I don't have any real answers ever, and I'm just like, you just gotta be really bad at it for a while and then learn what makes it not be bad. Which is probably not true. You can probably be good as a makeup artist. I just don't know how. So I just work with what I've got and my knowledge that I have. It's very funny because I feel like I should probably know more. Also, it's like kind of very funny, like some of the products I use in quarantine, because I'm like, I'm not getting paid for wearing makeup anymore like I used to. You know, when I was doing drag a few times a month, if not more than that, it was like, oh, I get paid to put on makeup, I will buy makeup. But now I do not get paid for putting on makeup. So it's one of those things that it's like, am I going to buy a new product, or am I going to work with what I've got? Eyeliner and foundation are obviously the only And my like face powder too are the only things I'm like, I always need those. Mascara too, because I have red lashes actually. So those 4 things: eyeliner, foundation, mascara, face powder. I kind of have to replace, but everything else I'm just like, I'll figure it out. And I usually do. It's just not in like a expert makeup artistry kind of way. Like when we get to my brows, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's huge. That's not. But okay, now it's time to fix this one. Which almost every time I do a cat eye, I have to go back and add more to this one to even them out. It doesn't really look even. But I'm going to, instead of trying to make the other one bigger still, I'm just gonna stop. Because I wear glasses. My cat eyes don't even have to be near even because I put glasses on over them. It's actually why I don't really wear eyelashes anymore, because they would just get caught in my glasses. You know, and I also don't leave the house. Once I'm leaving the house again, I think eyelashes will become a bit more standard for me. Okay, I'm gonna put on my mascara, which this is just like a cheap drugstore one. I didn't even pick it out. I just told Keenan to like get a black mascara. And they did. It does the trick. It is a black mascara. It goes on my lashes to make them black instead of orange. And I'm happy. I need to get a cute hand mirror for when I'm doing videos because, yeah, this is like me holding up the Trixie palette isn't great. I used to have the Besame Snow White one, and I think it either got left in the trunk of Lauren's car and absorbed into her collection, which is reasonable because her car was always how we like traveled to drag shows and stuff. And I am pretty sure she had that mirror also. So yeah, it's like I think it got absorbed into her collection, or I brought it to a drag show and that's where it was lost and someone took it. I could have lost it. I, you know, was a fierce alcoholic. You know, still am, but sober now. So like my ability to lose things was strong. I need another new hand mirror. Nice cute little vintage one for when I'm doing this. So I've got my mascara on. This was just a L'Oreal and it did the trick. My lashes are now black, which is all I needed it to do really. I'm going to get rid of any excess powder. I didn't like contour my nose or anything. My nose is the one thing sometimes I'll contour it even if I'm not doing like my cheeks or anything else. Just because I'd like it a little bit smaller, you know? Just a hair. Okay, so I've done a lot of my makeup now, as you can see. I'm gonna get to the part where it gets a little weird. So as you know, from looking at me right now, currently, I have orange hair. I've had orange hair for a long time. I've made orange wigs here. I've done a lot of orange hair oriented things. So with that, I have been trying to find the best method of having orange eyebrows for years. There was the KVD like eyebrow pots that they made a red and a yellow, but they didn't make an orange, so Cheyenne and Lauren would mix up a batch from the red and the yellow of our orange, and we'd use that, and that would dry out quickly because once you mixed them, it got like exposed to more air. So then we'd try and use like eye drops to rehydrate it, and it was a mess. It just took forever. It wasn't worth it. So then I've done eyeshadows, orange eyeliners. There was I think it was NYX or something like that. There was like a liquid orange eyeliner. That one wasn't the right shade, but it was close enough. And then sometimes I just give up on having orange eyebrows and I go for having black with orange hair, especially around like the fall and Halloween season. I feel like it makes sense and no one like clocks it as not matching. It's just like a cute Halloween-y choice. I've been struggling, and my hair is a little dull right now, color-wise, but I found a great thing that works is this Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick by Wet n Wild in the color Blood Bank. Okay, I think this is supposed to be a red, but it is very orange, in my opinion. We got this, they did like that big Halloween collection that like Gigi Goode was like one of the faces of. And Trixie Mattel did like a video on it on her channel. So we bought it and we were like, yeah, that's cute. It's an orange lipstick, whatever. And then I realized it's like, I should try it as eyebrows. So that day came not long ago. And since then, I have been using this lipstick as my eyebrow. Now, if you have other suggestions for orange eyebrow, please let me know down below. I've tried a lot. I wish I kept a list and like a ranking system so I could tell all of you exactly what orange products are good for eyebrows. Right now, this is my winner. I was trying to like, oh no. When I first was doing it, I was not using the lipstick applicator. But I've gotten increasingly bold as I wear this more often and just use the lipstick applicator to put on my brows. Now, obviously, they're not perfect. And it does take a little bit of, like, finesse. But, honestly, my brows have looked worse. So, I put this down. And I don't know how much it reads on camera, but it's actually like a very good match for my hair. Especially, wait, I'll hold up one of my hair pieces too, because when my hair isn't faded, and this is my color, ooh, thread, it does match fairly well. So, this orange lipstick has been my savior when it comes to doing my eyebrows. If anyone else has orange hair and wants orange brows, like an unnatural color, like me, this is a great solution. I highly suggest it. Then I go in with the Meatball Hip Dot palette, and I use the color Reba Diva to powder it. And this was the wrong brush to grab, but, you know, I've already made the mistake. I've been setting my brows back farther when I, like, where I start them, because I realized that is more of an, like, accurate vintage look. I used to start my brows here, and it was because when I was doing drag makeup, I'd connect my nose contour to my brow, and then sometimes even my cut crease all into one spot. It sounds crazy, but it actually looked good in my opinion. But yeah, I used to start my brows much closer to my nose, and I realized if I start them a little bit farther back, it does give me more of an accurate vintage eyebrow look. Now, this shape isn't 100% any era. You know, you don't always get your eyebrows exactly right, but what I did do will suit me for the day. So I've got all of this on. The next thing I'm going to put on is, so I'm pulling the After School Special highlighter from Trixie's Summer of Love palette. Just putting a little of this on. I finally replaced, this was like a crazy like makeup splurge for me, and it wasn't like a monetary splurge, but I like thought about a makeup thing that wasn't an essential, and finally got my star back. It's been years of me using a star, but for most of 2020 I didn't, because I wasn't in drag makeup for very much of it. But I realized it can just be my everyday stamp. I put on these beauty marks no matter what. Might as well just do it with the star. And now I'm going to move on to my lipstick, which is always the Fenty Beauty, what's the name of it? Uncensored. It's my favorite red. I use it, I've been using it now consistently for like a couple years. It does smudge under a mask, I will say that, but I don't know, I just really love the shade. I think it goes on great. I love the applicator, I love the bottle. So someday when I don't have to wear a mask everywhere, I'll be happy that I kept with Fenty. I'm gonna be honest, that overdraw did get a little crazy for a daytime moment, but who cares? You know, makeup's for me. I don't care if somebody else thinks that my lipstick is drawn on too big. My hair feels dry now, so I'm actually gonna grab my hairbrush and kind of see what I can do with that. So I've got my hairbrush. It's a wet brush, but it has Olaf on it. And I'm just gonna brush these little bangs out. Yeah, they probably from me like moving them around to do makeup. They did not dry as they usually do. I usually don't do my makeup until my hair is dry. So they're not gonna be as cute as they maybe normally are, which isn't even that cute because I don't have a haircut. You know, it just is how my hair is grown out. Okay, so yeah, it's not extremely curly today. As it gets longer, I'm noticing obviously there's less curl happening to it. But also, it's not been cut or, oops, has not been cut or like trimmed, styled in any way since the pandemic started. I do all of my own hair color at the house, and yeah, I miss having my best friend do my hair, because that like assured us a couple hours of hanging out, and also it looked better. As you can see, I'm already got roots here, whatever. It's not great. This is why I have wigs and hair pieces and stuff. Like, I can definitely just swap to a hairpiece today because I don't love this look. It's been cuter as of late, so I actually do think I'm gonna swap to a hairpiece. So let me pull all my hair back. This is not attractive particularly. I'm actually gonna spray it a little bit so there's something to hold on to there. And I'm just going to use my bumper bang piece that I made in a past video. I will put a card up to that here. So that's on. I might kind of smooth this hair out on the sides a little bit. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up quickly because I've run out of storage on my phone, I guess, and dealing with that. But all I did was tie on a scarf and I was finished up, put my glasses back on, and I'm going back to work. Thank you all for getting ready with me. I'm Severely Mame. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification if you want to get notified every time I post. And if you like what's going on here, make sure to follow the link below to my Patreon where you can contribute to help videos like this get made. I'll see you all soon.